Imagine 100 little puppies resting in your favorite holiday destination. Now replace all of them with women. 100 women whose stories, dreams, and directions for their lives were almost crushed by this monster for nearly 4 decades.
And you pick the ones that you think you're going to kill?
Meet Samuel Little, a twisted fantasy for incels and a tragic nightmare for women. Here's what made me feel sad. Approximately 40 of them had not been found, and 7 of them made it out alive, eliminating the odds of them being found in one piece ever again. And discussing every single case with excruciating detail could ruin your exquisite bedtime routine and Samuel Little's chances of being half as handsome as a mosh pit sewer. So I've grouped them all into 5 non-mutually exclusive groups of 10. The first selected being poor women. All 10 of them were stripped away of their humanity from outsiders because they had no leverage to compete with wealthier, more social work for other people's time, energy, and attention. Also, Samuel knew that their kryptonite was his being golden ticket away from getting his back shots wiped by cops. Bro snuck through every street corner for his targets like a toothless hyena with an awful morning bread smell. They would be verbally seduced into the car from outside until Samuel Little climbs over, rapes, and strangles them around their necks with his bare hands until they suffocate to death. The absence of cuts, blood, and bruises on these victims prevented cases against them being pursued by the feds due to a lack of substantial evidence.
Did you ever shoot any of these girls?
Shoot.
Yeah, with a gun?
I get no kick out.
Alright. So everything was done by manual strangulation. Did you ever use like a belt or a cloth or
No
anything?
garrots on it.
No ligatures at all?
My hands.
Just your hands?
Without that, I wouldn't want to do it.
No knife, no clock, no gang affiliation, just his hands? Bro, you're supposed to build generational wealth with those hands, not enslave them into whipping women into past tense for instant gratification. Ugly, washed up, titty-faced Uncle Tom looking ass boy.
Squeeze the hard enough for the breath. Cut off. And sooner or later, she's gonna start catching breath. And that's when I pulled my hands off. It was too late, man.
Was it exciting to you at the time?
Yes, it was.
Exciting? Blood sounded like Onana. He couldn't stop conceding L's from the friend zone before he got relegated to the shadow realm. So let me take you to the second group of 10 women who were prostitutes past weekly bedtime. And this is where it got dry. Their ages mattered to Samuel Little because he had a harder time around older prostitutes. Yet, younger women were free game for him since he found them easier to be carried, more physically attractive, but less equipped to escape his tight, deadly grip around their necks when his car was locked. Bro's not the type of guy to bring on brides and cookouts. Next thing you know, he's above the bride stand with baby oil choking out the meat.
I had a dead body in the car. That's what people choked out. Yes, and I'm getting ready. Blue lights everywhere. Police car and come back behind him. He seen us parked there. Damn car looked in that window with a flashlight. Shining right on the girl. She lay up there like this.
She's dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
And as soon as he was looking at me, I said, yeah, I'm right here. I got his mind off. Just the nigga time before he took a second look. And I got away like, he said, well, you gotta get out of here. I got in the car and took off.
This brings you to the third group of 10 women, homeless drug addicts, locked in because they were considered as one of Samuel Little's favorites. Samuel Little sadly realized that the people around him did everything in their power to avoid association with women who were homeless drug addicts. Thus, he posed as their savior, promising free food, water, and drugs until he wrapped himself around them to their demise. On that note, I'd expect this from a cult leader, not a bum who looked like he survived abortion under a microscope from bacteria.
She was pretty, a light-skinned, brown, honey-colored skin. I met her in a nightclub in New Orleans. So I cut off, I took off the exit. And that sure enough was a road leading into the woods. And we went in and grabbed her by the legs and pulled her to the water. That's the only one that I ever kill right around.
No, he's right.
And that was your intent?
That was right.
The reason Sam Little went undetected for so many years is because of who he targeted, primarily drug-addicted women and sex workers.
She was a hoe, yeah. She was a hoe. She was trying to make some money.
Meanwhile, the fourth group of 10 women were racially motivated.
Yeah, you got pretty good at knowing which ones.
Well, I'm not going to go over in the white neighborhood and pick out the little young teenage girl or like the medias do. Alabama did the same thing. I had this black chick up in the coffee. That's about pulled up in the sheriff.
Nobody ran the play or anything.
No,
So they didn't put that on.
he didn't run away. Nobody, no, he wasn't looking for him. They found the body, man, about a month later.
Now, when you were driving around with Patricia Mount in the front passenger seat, did you have any conversation with her?
My mind was on killing her. She let me feel her throat, caressing it. And before I knew it, I tightened my hands around it and strangled her to death.
Samuel saw most of his black victims as his bread and butter, except that his tongue looked like the texture of a dirty kitchen sponge. Let's not talk about his set of teeth. Them jaws of death look like Joe Biden on Social Security. So tell me, Samuel, is it true that you went after black women more than white women because their stories as victims, alibis, and witnesses were seen as less reliable and credible by the criminal justice system before the 2000s? Is it also owing to the premise that the disappearances from their killings to them would be quickly dismissed by law enforcement? Or what? Is it because each of them reminded you of how your mother abandoned you and left you for dead in the streets as a baby? And it's wild how the final one, the lack of community support, got you rattled inside the interrogation room. These women had little to no connections with family members, friends, and acquaintances, so few of them wouldn't even notice when they all went missing for multiple years. They were off-grid, unseen by the naked eye, and that was how Samuel Little loved them. He was a ghost hunter, since ghosts never scream, fight back, nor receive justice. Also, he assumed after he was found guilty of killing 3 women on separate occasions. And I kid you not, the state of California squabbled this man Samuel with multiple life sentences without parole. All in all, Samuel Little was a man so desperate to be wanted that he exploited women he considered powerless. It's still talked about to this day, and Hootlana Blakely would absolutely agree. Despite the overwhelming number of flaws these women had, they had lives that mattered too. Let us never forget them all and back your loved ones up every time. I am the Moti, and this is Goodbye.